Good evening everyone. Kumusta naman mo? I hope that you are all fine and sound despite the threats of COVID-19. Just always remember to keep safe and just stay at home. By the way, welcome to our class in Basic School Management and Administration. Well, in our past lesson, I hope you have learned something, and it was about interpersonal skill. This is very important as a teacher. You will be dealing with your co-teachers, with your colleagues, with your supervisors, principal for that matter, and with your learners, pupils or students, and of course the parents. So it is important that you will be able to develop the strategies and the skill on the way you associate yourself with these people, because it is through the skill, this interpersonal skill, that you will be able to do things efficiently and you will be able to achieve your intended objectives, whatever it may be. It is on the way you deal with other people that things will become possible. So this evening we will be talking about the models of management. In the previous lessons that you had, we were talking about leadership style and the qualities of a leader. But this evening, we will be talking what are the models of management. Knowledge on models of management will be very helpful to you because you will become flexible in the way you manage your class, or if ever you'll become a principal or a head teacher, you will be able to make use of the different models so that management of people will become very effective and efficient. So, at the end of this lesson, the learning outcomes expected of you are the following: for you to be able to explain what is management style, and then you will also be able to enumerate the management models, describe each model, and differentiate these models from each other. And of course, you provide examples on the situations wherein each of these models can be applied most appropriately. So when it comes to management or leadership, there are plenty of models that we can make use. But for our purpose, we will just identify 3 models that we can use in managing your class or your school. So the 3 models that we can utilize in managing our class or in managing our school are the following: authoritarian, the second is participative, and the third is delegative management model. So let us try to look into deeper what each of these models mean. The first is the authoritarian model. This can also be understood as the autocratic style. Authoritarian or autocratic. What comes to your mind when you hear these 2 terms, authoritarian or autocratic? Yes? Okay, so you are right with what you are thinking. In a layman's term or understanding, authoritarian or autocratic can also be understood as dictatorial. So what do you think is the style of the leader when he uses autocratic or authoritarian model? Yes, meaning to say the power is focused on the leader. So if you are the teacher handling a class or managing the school, when you use authoritarian or autocratic model, then the power is centered on you. Meaning to say, you will have the call. You give the command and everybody will follow. So when there are instances or situation wherein decision has to be made, then in an autocratic or authoritarian model, it is the principal or it is the teacher that will make decision. The decision making need not to be consultative, meaning to say the principal or the teacher will make the decision by himself or by herself without asking the idea or opinion of the other teachers or of the other members of the organization. The power and authority is centered on the leader. There are situations that this style or model is most effective. It is when there are urgent matters to be addressed, important concerns that have to be responded to immediately. No? There is an element of time, and the time is short, and a decision has to be made. So in these instances, authoritative or autocratic style will be most preferred. Decision has to be made, therefore the head teacher or the principal or the teacher for that matter will have to make a quick decision. So this is authoritative or autocratic model or style. Have you experienced situations wherein decisions have to be made quickly? So in these instances, consultation may not happen because of the element of time. There should be a swift, quick, and immediate decision that has to be done. Therefore, the teacher has to make the decision without asking or consulting the other members of the organization or of the school. The second is the participative model, also known as the democratic style. As participative, power now is being shared to the members of the organization, compared to the autocratic or authoritarian management style wherein the power is centered at the leader. In the participative or democratic model, the power is being shared by the leader together with the members of the organization. That means to say, in making a decision, there is consultation and participation by the members of the organization. Meaning that whatever decision that will be made or that has been arrived at, this decision is a collegial decision. This is a decision that is an output, a result of the deliberation, consultation, perhaps disagreement or argument, and at the end there is an agreement, so that such a decision is achieved. Unlike in the authoritarian style, wherein the decision is done or is made by the leader alone and the members have nothing to say, in participative, all the members participated in the coming up of a decision. That is why it is democratic. Whatever decision is made in a democratic or participative model, it is the decision of the group. It is the decision of all the members of that particular group. So if ever you are a teacher and you are planning for an activity and in which a decision has to be made, when it is participative, members of your class, your pupils and your students actively participate in the discussion together with the teacher, of course, so that a sound decision is arrived. This is best applicable when, of course, you have ample time. There is enough time for you to have this consultation, argument, and debate, trying to argue what is best, what are the weaknesses of the particular option, what are the strengths, and everything considered, you make up your mind and make a decision. Everybody in the group is given the chance to share his idea or thoughts and also being considered in the finalizing of the decision that has to be made. And the third is the delegative or laissez-faire model. Have you heard of this leadership style or management style? Delegative, meaning to say the teacher or the leader delegates the authority and power to the members of the organization. Now take note that while in democratic style or in the participative model, the teacher is involved in the decision making. No, the teacher participates in the discussion and deliberation. But in delegative model, the teacher delegates the members of the organization to discuss among themselves, to decide among themselves, and the teacher will just wait for the result. Meaning, in the delegative or laissez-faire style, the teacher does not participate in the deliberation. He lets the members, the class members, to decide among themselves, and then once they have made the decision, then they will just report this to the teacher, or whatever output that will come out from that deliberation, whatever decision that is made, then they will simply inform the teacher about it. Okay, so have you seen the difference between democratic or participative as compared to the delegative or laissez-faire model? In the laissez-faire or delegative model, the leader or the teacher for that case empowers the members. He provides authority to the members to decide for themselves. The teacher will not interfere. The teacher will not get involved. He is just on the side. He is just observing. He allows everything to be accomplished and done by the members. He will just be waiting for the results. In this model, it is best applicable if you want that your members of the organization will feel ownership of the decision that will be made. And of course, to show that the leader has the trust and confidence for the members of the organization. If you are a teacher and you are looking forward for the celebration of Christmas party in your class, you can either use the democratic or participative model or the laissez-faire or delegative model. In the democratic, you will be engaged and involved in the discussion in order for everyone to come up with the best concept of what that Christmas party will be. But on the other hand, if you are the type of teacher who doesn't want to be stressed by these things, then you will just allow your pupils or your students to decide among themselves how and what will be the celebration like. And afterwards, after your students have agreed everything, they will just inform you on what they have decided. So, in both models, participative and delegative, the members of the organization have the role to play. They have contribution and they have participation in the decision making. But this cannot be experienced by the members when it comes to the authoritarian or autocratic model. So is there any question regarding the three models? What are the three? We have the autocratic or authoritative model. The second is participative or democratic model. And the third is delegative or laissez-faire model. Now take note that there is no best model that is applicable at all times. Meaning to say, it depends upon the situation. There are instances when laissez-faire or delegative model is most appropriate, most applicable. And there are also situations wherein being autocratic or authoritarian is the best model that is applicable. Or sometimes there are instances when democratic or participative model is the most appropriate. It depends on the teacher. It depends on you being the teacher when either of these models can be used in a particular situation. What is important is that you are able to understand the nature and characteristic of each of these models, and you know when to use either of these models best. So I am giving you activities in our Google Classroom. You do all these things because these will help you understand and learn more about the topic. If ever you have questions or points of clarification, do not hesitate to ask me using the private message, or you can post your question in our group chat. That would be all this evening, and I am wishing you the best. Good night.